Mary stood at the front door, surveying the fields that stretched out before her. Her eyes darted from one to the next, but after all the activity of the harvest, all was quiet. With the exception of a couple of labourers, the only people she saw were gathered under the shade of an oak tree, not 10 yards away. They were waiting for her. She took a deep breath and pulled the door shut behind her, gripping the handle for longer than necessary. Her heart banged against her ribs, but as much as she wanted to stay, she couldn't. Not now. With a burst of determination, she threw back her shoulders and, with her head held high, walked down the garden path. As she reached the gate, she turned to look at the house she had called home for the last 4 years. The whitewashed stone walls were topped with a grey slate roof through which a tall chimney emerged. 4 small windows pierced the front wall, and at this time of day, the light from the sun reflected from them, causing her to squint. A second similar cottage, occupied by her brother-in-law Richard, stood beside it. With a glance at the house next door, she pulled the gate closed and kept walking. "I'm ready," she said as she joined her mother and father-in-law, who stood with 2 of their daughters and Mary's own 2 children. "We need to go. I don't want to miss the carriage." "Are you sure you don't want me to come with you?" her father-in-law said. "I don't like you travelling on your own." "I'm sure. We'll have to get used to doing things on my own." The sadness in her voice was unmistakable. "Our Lucy'll look out for you," he continued. "She knows you're travelling today, and she has a room ready. Here, take this." Mary glanced down at the folded paper her father-in-law handed her, a puzzled look on her face. "Money for your rent," he said. "Lucy won't take much, but as she's my sister, I like to help her out." Mary looked at the 2 young children who stood with their grandmother. Why was she taking them with her? Even with the help of her husband's family, she would struggle to look after herself, let alone William and Mary Ann too. Her late husband, Charles, hadn't left her much money, and she couldn't hope to get a job while the children were so small. Her mother-in-law had offered to keep them until she settled in, but Mary couldn't leave them, not when she was about to lose everything else she cared for. Her father-in-law must have seen her despair and looked down at his grandson. "You look after your mother, William. You hear me?" he said. "Yes, sir." William was 5 years old, but with the events of recent years he had grown up quickly, and he pulled himself up to his full height as if to prove it. He went to his mother and squeezed her hand. "Some money for the wagon as well." Her father-in-law handed her a second package. "Thank you." Mary blinked to hold back the tears filling her eyes. "I don't know what to say. You've been so good to me." "Nothing more than we do for anyone else in the family," her mother-in-law said.